Mario, an Italian plumber who falls in love with a princess and fights an angry turtle who doesn't want to leave her alone, and Sonic, a hedgehog who just wants to hang with his friends, but some creepy science fiction-esque scientists won't leave him alone. Mario and Sonic are among some of those popular characters in not only game media, but all of fiction, so what would happen if these two were to fight? What if Sonic stole Peach instead of Bowser or something, or Mario tried to steal the Chaos Emeralds? To keep things fresh, however, I'll be going over Mario first to give a brief but sort of in-depth explanation of Mario's power, as I've already gone over Sonic in prior videos, such as both versions and iterations of my prior Goku vs Sonic videos. However, with that being said, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to pay attention to more of the things I say and why I state them, instead of the winner of the versus battle. But like I said, with that being said, be sure to subscribe. And lastly, but most importantly, enjoy. In Super Mario Galaxy, Mario defeated Bowser, who tanked the collapse of his galaxy reactor while being heavily fatigued and being barely able to walk, which is stated to threaten the very fabric of the universe. We know this to be the case as Mario directly talks about what happens when stars die, and Bowser even fears for the existence of his empire, that being the aforementioned galaxy itself. This is further supported as within the Prima official game guide for Super Mario Galaxy, Bowser's galaxy reactor is consistently called a universal threat that would and could decide the fate of the universe entirely. Now, for those who are a bit skeptical on if Mario even scales to Bowser, Mario within the same game and even prior iteration of the games damaged Bowser to the point of unconsciousness, so logically he should scale to him. In the same game, Mario then defeats dozens of enemies powered by the Grand Stars, which can destroy, recreate, and reset the fabric of the universe in its entirety. Within Super Mario Galaxy 2, he even fought a Grand Star enhanced Bowser, who had enough power to create a black hole that was consuming the universe. Also, do keep in mind that this Mario is fatigued and not at 100%, as prior to Bowser, he had fought numerous upon numerous of stars within Thwomp's Forest, which Nintendo did indeed turn into a galaxy within the second installment of Super Mario. Within the second installment of Super Mario Galaxy, the worlds are entire universes, as Lubba states that you must travel through the entirety of space and time in order to reach these quote-unquote unknown worlds. The hyperspatial mystery circle, or the matter splatter galaxy, is a space that exists in the normal universe and can be flown to normally from the observatory and back as always. However, with the street perpetually phasing in and out of space like how a fourth dimensional object would within our universe, making the matter splatter galaxy a 4D hyperspace and the container for it, aka the normal universe itself, fifth dimensional. This means that the Grand Stars can destroy fifth dimensional space-time continuas, since the destruction caused by the galaxy reactor would encompass all of reality, as the universes in the wider Mario cosmology are parallel to each other. Then, however, in Mario 64, Mario does defeat Bowser, who was under the effects of the Power Stars, which I'll get into, who enabled him to create universal-sized realms within the walls and paintings. We also know that this amped Bowser had to have created the time within the paintings as well, as time and space cannot exist independently from each other, at least within the Mario cosmology, which is further evidenced by how the tick-tock clock is a world entirely based and predicated upon time. If he didn't create it, he had inaccessible speed for moving in a timeless dimension or realm. However, we know this isn't the case. But now, why are they universally sized realms truly? What actually makes them universal? Well, that's because just Bob Bomb's battlefield is described by Mario as a parallel world of some sorts when he calls it a world and compares it to the main versus realm, as a world within Mario would be described as a universe rather than something like a planet based upon this notion. Additionally, however, the Super Mario 64 official player's game guide is further supported evidence for them having the power to create entire universes, as each of them having their own separate space-time continuas. We also know that Bowser did create these worlds individually, because Toad describes them as Bowser's separate worlds, and we also know that Bowser made this pretty much instantaneously, as he couldn't have created them one at a time via the aforementioned claim of Toad. For those who aren't convinced, or rather a bit skeptical, Mario fought Bowser during the events of Mario Party 5, where he stated and shown that he was going to ruin or destroy Dream Depot and all of the dreams within it. In Dream Depot, the dreams of the multiverse's denizens are turned into entire universes, and Bowser also planned on destroying Future Dream, as this dream in particular was stated by Mistar and by Mario Party 5's guide booklet on page 28 to be an entire universe in scope and size. This would mean that each dream within Dream Depot in of itself is its own universal construct, and this would also mean that Dream Depot does range to at least 5th to 6th dimensional, depending on if you think Dream Depot is on a higher dimensional plane of existence compared to that of the main Mario cosmology, and it would also reach something called infinite dimensional. However, this is where my own personal skepticism does apply and start to show, as infinite dimensions within dream worlds could just mean that the dream world contains an infinite amount of dimensions and not necessarily an infinite transcendent hierarchy of dimensions. So when I say infinite dimensional, just take it with a grain of salt and not necessarily hyperliterally, as multiple pieces of fiction like to use this archaic or hyperbolic language to try to exaggerate the feats and statements within the game or pieces of fiction themselves. Within this very game, Mario defeated Bowser empowered by the Star Rod, which allowed him to, at an improper power I might add, defeat and imprison the Star Spirits. The Star Spirits are the Star Guardians of Dream Depot, and Dream Depot is a realm that turns all dreams into universes, as I said prior. The Star Spirits can also create fun-filled games, which may or may not be Dream Depot as an entirety, as I'll get into. Within this realm, which all seem to take place within the universe, it's more likely than not that the Star Spirits which scale below this Star Rod empowered Bowser did in fact create Dream Depot, as not only are they the guardians of Dream Depot, but are directly stated to create fun-filled games that are dreams in of themselves. So if we were to go under the presumption that they did create Dream Depot, then them creating a realm of this magnitude would be at least 5th dimensional based upon the prior scaling of the main Mario cosmology. Bowser by the end of the game became well over 100 times stronger than before, so by the end of the game, Mario scales to an even higher level of power compared to the previous. Then in the end of the game itself, with the power of paint, Red could telepathically talk to Mario and Huey by coloring their thoughts. For those confused, this would mean that the paint not only gives life to beings and such, but this would also mean that it embodies and creates thoughts. Concepts are defined as thoughts and ideas or abstract ideations, so this would mean that the paint would make up the concept of dreams and thus makes Dream Depot possible, not only physically, but idealistically as well. Now, these paint feats are more akin to Paper Mario, which I'll get into later, but for those concerned with speed, Mario should be at least a measurable speed, as Bowser had to have created time within the walls or universes he had created, meaning Bowser had to exist before time was conceived. And obviously via the prior scaling, Mario does scale to this Bowser, or at least is on a relative scale to that version of Bowser. Mario isn't realistically a speedy character, but for all intents and purposes, he should be above that of time, which would mean he'd be above that of inaccessible, and would be at least immeasurable speed. Now, scaling Sonic is quite a bit less convoluted and, well, hard, as he mainly gets his power from that of the Chaos Emeralds and Precious Stones. The Archie Sonic and Sonic Cosmology, respectively, are stated to contain infinite multiverses within it, with things such as the Imaginary World that is stated to house infinite dreams within it, with it all being denoted as their own individual universes and infinite possibilities, kind of like Dream Depot within Super Mario. Except Sonic would then get amped by that of the Precious Stone, which is far above that of the base Sonic universe, which would make Sonic and the universe as well as the cosmogony at the very least 5th dimensional. We also know that the Precious Stone was at its strongest, as we know that the Precious Stone does get weaker as it splits into many other Precious Stones and loses its power. We then have the Chaos Force, which is said to be a higher dimensional plane of existence, which would now make the verse 6th dimensional and would be far above the aforementioned power cap of 5D. Sonic then, after acquiring all of these amps, would then gain and acquire the Chaos Emeralds and is then able to destroy the entire Archie Sonic cosmology and hierarchy, making him at the very least maybe 7th to 6th dimensional. This is further supported as within the Japanese version of the game, it is stated that Archie Sonic, whilst amped with the Chaos Emeralds, has both infinite strength and speed. For those who still doubt or are a bit skeptical of this notion to the 4 to 6 dimensional scaling for Sonic, we have that of Soloris, who is stated to have dominion and governing over both time and space, and all of his attacks simultaneously alter the past, present, and future. Even Ian Flynn, which is the creator of the Archie Sonic verse and one of the main authors and creators of the main Archie Sonic universe, say that there are infinite multiverse and dimensions within the Sonic cosmology and cosmogony. If you want to get into these higher echelons of power within Sonic, we know that Chaos Control is a hack that's beyond concepts, since it can work the concepts of time. We then have X Sonic, who is a part of Archie Sonic's universe, and with one Harmony Chaos Emerald, can bend and cheat the rules of reality, and so on and so forth. The Super Genesis Wave was being powered by the Chaos Emeralds as well, so whatever the Super Genesis Wave did, the Chaos Emeralds automatically scale above, or at least 2. Lastly, the Chaos Control is stated to be more of a direct way of turning your dreams and thoughts into power. So for those still in denial, it's stated by Dr. Eggman, who's one of the smartest within the verse, which in the comics and within the games that did, come out before the games, that a base Archie Sonic is the embodiment of chaos, meaning any feat that chaos has or does, Sonic should and would automatically scale to, even the aforementioned chaos and imaginary world feats as well. As for speed and hacks, Sonic is far faster than his base form, being able to outpace laser attacks that stems from Solaris' body, whose attacks are shown to be throughout all of time itself, due to them appearing in the past, present, and future alike. Sonic is also capable of attacking Solaris faster than he can even cross his arms to defend himself. He also blitzes a Time Eater alongside his classic counterpart and easily avoid attacks from them. If you presuppose that Solaris is above that of time like he stated to on numerous upon numerous of occasions, then both Solaris and Sonic should be at least immeasurable speed. For those who are a bit skeptical on Sonic's power, Sonic with sheer speed alone can also, and in base I might add, make time go forward on some Superman or Barry Allen DC Flash shit. However, Solaris would then destroy every timeline within every point in time, as in the past, present, and future, where more timelines exist. Not only that, but Sonic was more powerful and stronger than this version of Solaris. Keep in mind, this Solaris is capable of collapsing everything into nothingness, such as the imaginary world in the base Sonic universe. Now, Sonic has numerous upon numerous of abilities, but I'll just list the more important ones that have relevance to the debate here. Sonic cannot die by conventional means, meaning Sonic can resurrect himself through the rings he acquired through his time within the franchise, which at this point in time is quote-unquote 1 billion. Think of it like a Mario game where you have 1 billion lives instead of just 3, meaning theoretically, of course, Mario would have to kill Sonic 1 billion times. Sonic is also shown to have plot manipulation and rewrite stories, such as turning fantasy into reality. Now, there is some skepticism upon that, so I will, grant you some leeway if you don't necessarily believe in that. However, that is what we call subjective reality manipulation. Sonic was also able to momentarily hold off Enerjack. Enerjack wields near infinite power, capable of achieving almost anything his imagination can think of. And with this power, he can reality warp, manipulate time, space, matter, and energy. And with this power, Enerjack was shown to have the capability of traveling to other universes, and at the very concept of achieving multiversal power, or multiversal level destruction, with just a single wave of his hand. So at first glance, it may seem as if Sonic does indeed win, as he overtakes Mario in terms of hacks, speed, and overall dimensional scaling in existence. However, what about a hypothetical battle between Paper Mario and Ultra Sonic, or at least a higher interpretation of Sonic's power? I'll start with Mario first, as his scaling is a bit harder to cover and convoluted as it was prior, but Paper Mario, during the events of Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, Mario quite literally talks to the philosopher known as Plato, who quite literally created that of Platonic concepts. Even prior to this point, which Mario should scale above by this point, is able to manipulate concepts and things of that nature. Although I will say that Platonic concepts within the game of Mario could be taken with a grain of salt, as Mario as a game and franchise has many inconsistencies and inaccurately conveys the ideas of Platonism and other philosophical ideas and things of that nature. Even then though, Mario should still be able to manipulate concepts and might actually be a Platonic concept himself, as he's verbatim stated to be the embodiment of pure love and hope, and to even combat against what is seemingly the embodiment or concept of chaos. For those concerned with Sonic scaling, the emeralds and their properties exist beyond both space and time, established as entities and conceptions, science, mystic measures, and comprehension, which would be all above that of dimensionality, using the feats of what the Chaos Emeralds do provide. However, this is true as characters within the Sonic cosmology have shown that they have knowledge of dimensions and reference their beyond comprehension, which would be multi-dimensional. We know this to be the case as the Chaos Emeralds have been shown to manipulate conceptions and things such as time even prior to this feat. However, to not throw multiple hypotheticals of what if or what if that, Sonic should most likely win against that of Mario, as his dimensional existence scales that higher and most consistently outclasses Mario when it comes to speed. When it comes to abilities, Sonic should have the upper hand as well, as he's able to manipulate concepts such as time and even space with his base power of the Chaos Emeralds as well, and many more. But to answer your question plain and simple, Sonic beats Mario, and with that being said, it has been Tempest. I want to say thank you for 5,000 subscribers, as it truly does mean a lot. However, make sure to stay and to be safe. Have a nice rest of your day or night, and till next time, bye.